Three, two, one. Right, here we go. Is live mean we're on? All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It is 12:02 by the clock on the screen, so I apologize. I was a couple minutes late. We were just having a meeting down. We were looking at some crime mapping, and it was kind of interesting. It was looking at different things that contribute to crime, not just for crime incidents, but what is the poverty in that location? What is the calls for service in that location? So it's kind of neat on just some different data points as you layer in on calls for service and whatever the incident might be, and then what is the poverty and what is the population and type of. It's really good stuff. So I apologize for being 2 minutes late, but I've been looking forward to this all week, really all month. This is one of the funner things that I get to do, and as we try to open up the door and just have communication with individuals. It's a little different for me, talking into this little round ball with a blue eye. Just having some conversation about what's going on in our police department, what's going on in our city as it relates to law enforcement. What are some things we've done and are doing and are about to do as we move forward? I mean, we're almost through the first, 3 months of the year, right? So there's some good things to talk about. So our content today, our message today as we move forward is, if you have a question, there may be some questions I ask you, right? So one, can you see okay, and is the audio okay? Can you hear things? But I just appreciate people chiming in. It's an opportunity to ask me questions if you would like, to talk about something or bring something up, and I will elaborate and be as open and transparent as I can. If it's something specific about a case, I can tell you kind of where we're at, but I don't want to go into details to disrupt or hurt any of the cases that are going on. But I just want to say thank you. This is a venue where it was just a chance for us to interact. It's a little awkward sometimes not having people in front of me, right? But I do know that things happen in life, and things move so quick now. So individuals might be able to tune in and watch later, or it might be easy to text or Facebook in a message or send a message that you want me to address or talk about or ask, or just a point you wanted to a thought or an idea. And I welcome those, that you can get that response, and that you can kind of do it from wherever you're at, as opposed to driving somewhere and being in a room where we have a community meeting, if you will. Nothing against community meetings. I get those. So it's still a little awkward for me, but the media relation folks here really work with me, and how important social media is and the span. So here we are, and we've been doing this for a while now. So I'll do a session today at 12 to 1, 1:05, 1:15, whatever, and then I'll be back at 6, right, Matt? So Matt's here with me. What I will do is I'll try to hit each point, each message that comes through. If I skip one, charge that to my heart. I'm not trying to skip anybody, but sometimes the screen jumps, so I may ask Matt to scroll back up and go from there. So I just want to thank people ahead of time for taking the time to chime in. I think it's important that we have conversations, and I want that. I want that. It helps me express some things and concerns, issues, and highlight that we're doing in our department. But it also is a great way for me to get feedback from you on things that concerns, issues, ideas, or questions that you just might have about law enforcement or communications or our city. Okay. So Matt, if we'll go to the top, is Ralph the first one? Yeah. Ralph, good afternoon. Thanks for being here today. I'm going down. Devon, thank you, my friend. Good to see you. Miss Carter, thanks for being here. I appreciate that. Teresa, how are you? Hope things are well. Thanks for being here today. Miss Whalen, how are you? You sound and look okay. Oh, sound and look. I was like, wait, my hair? What do you mean? So scroll down just a little bit. I want to hit Anna right there. So you sound and look okay. So Miss Whalen pointed out that I'm 2 minutes late. That's great, Anna. Thank you. But yeah, absolutely. All right. So we got. Who did we? If I go back up, scroll up again. I got Ralph. Thank you for being. Oh, Ralph. I probably depends on who you ask, but I do have a heart for this job. This is a great city to work in. I am blessed. I thank God for this opportunity to be here and work with the citizens of this city, the businesses here, our faith leaders in our community, our youth. But I will tell you, I work with some of the most talented and caring people. I know we make mistakes in this profession, but I tell you, I just give the credit to the men and women who work here. They just do a phenomenal job, sworn and civilian both. Those that work behind the scenes are dispatchers and officers. So Rob, it means the world. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate that. Is it Joy? Joy. Good afternoon, Chief. I thought my clock. No, Joy, I was 2 minutes late today. That's on me. I could say it took me. There were people in the hallway and I couldn't get through, but no, I was 2 minutes late today. Saying sounds good. All right, perfect. That's good. Johnson, Johnny, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Is it Brandon? Brendan.
Yes, Brendan.
All right. What was the police department's role in last night's search for the inmates? Was the public in danger? Wow. So that's what I'm talking about. That is a great question. So last night we were alerted that 2 individuals had escaped from the jail facility. I have a great working relationship and respect, mentor to me, Sheriff Morgan. But we have a great relationships. Our 2 agencies are information shared. So one of the things we did is kind of knocked on doors and went to some locations that we believe those individuals might have been at. I don't want to get into their history. Was your question about was the public in danger? I don't think that there were any threats. I don't think that we were dealing with menacing individuals. What we had is 2 individuals that were able to escape from the jail facility, and as we shared information, went back, used our real-time crime center technology. And a lot of people talk about, Chief, what are you doing with this technology? Well, we're able to go back and actually capture photos of going back in time. So if we were alerted at time Z, we were able to go back to X and Y, and all right, let's go back a little bit of the time frame, and we saw figures. So we have captured some incidents of individuals as they left. We coordinated with our partnerships with the sheriff's office, worked together, shared information, and they were actually picked up this morning. I think it was around 3:30 or 4 o'clock that I was notified. So just working with the sheriff's department, collaborating together, checking locations, possibilities, backtracking, talking to individuals, and then they were located early this morning. So Brendan, that is a great question. But that was our role, getting as much information as we can, coordinating our efforts, working together, reporting back, making sure each agency knew what the other was doing, where we were going, and then by the grace of God, glad no one was injured, and that we were able to locate them and get them back in custody. So it worked out well, and I want to thank. I know if Sheriff Morgan was sitting here, he'd do the same thing. I want to thank community members who called in. Hey, we saw this, or we think we saw this, or this person. I want to really thank community members who played a huge role in allowing this thing to come to an end quickly. It's regretful that it happened, right? But how quickly resolve, cooperation, communication, working together, and locating the 2. That's a great question, man. Thank you. Thank you very much. John, thank you, my friend. Annie, hi, Chief, and Kelly. Hope you're Annie. So today Matt's with me. He's guiding me through. I did see Kelly. We had a conversation this morning, but Matt is with me today to make sure I don't touch anything, I don't mess anything up, and to keep me on track. So, but it's good. I'm glad you're here, and thanks for joining in today. Susan, what's the latest on the Rich Neck shooting? So, Susan, all I can tell you is that our investigation is complete. We have the interviews and evidence has been put together and sent to the Commonwealth Attorney. I think Mr. Gwynn's already addressed that they are now reviewing that, and the next thing that will come out will be their decision. So I did see that Abby. I had a conversation with the family member yesterday, checking on Abby, how she was doing, and I was alerted that they were doing an interview. I think it aired today. I did not see it this morning, but I saw clips of it, and I'll go back and watch it this afternoon. But right now it is in the Commonwealth attorneys have the utmost respect for their process as they go through and look at it. And I know that some people, we shouldn't do the decision, but things take time, right? And I think it shows how thorough that both entities are in working together and sharing some information. There may have been some follow-up information they wanted to check on, but I believe that at the end of the day, that what the circumstances are, what the evidence shows, what the law is, will be if there are charges and what those would or would not be. But so that's kind of, I hope that answers your question. That's kind of where we're at. upon final review, and then the decision made by the Commonwealth Attorney's Office is where we're at. All right, so is Carrie right after her? Ms. Cox, thank you. I want to thank you for helping us out with, we'll talk about it in this hour, some of our promotions. Ms. Cox from the NAACP set us on a panel for us to help us with some sergeant selections, and she also is a member of our Use of Force Review Board. And so, Carrie, thank you so much for what you do in the community and your activism. Thank you for our conversations, the candid conversations that we have, and thank you for being here today. I appreciate that. Travis. Travis, thank you, my friend. That means a lot. I'll share that with the officers. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Thank you, my friend. Ms. Carter, where do we go? Okay, there we go. How did they escape, and how was that possible? So I will tell you this, out of respect, I would defer that to the sheriff's office, and it being transparent, I don't exactly know. I don't exactly know how that took place. I know where the exit was, but how that happened, I don't know, and I don't want to speak on something I'm not sure about. What I do know that we was alerted that 2 individuals had been able to escape from the jail facility, and then information was passed on who they were, what their backgrounds were, associates, locations, relationship, that type thing, and then it was a coordinated effort together, the sheriff's department, the police department working together, getting information out to the community, citizens calling in, that I think gave to a quick result. So certainly, again, unfortunate, it happened, but now that the sheriff's department will go back and look at that. I actually talked to Sheriff Morgan. I'm sure he was up throughout the night. We talked several times, and again, I was giving him a little bit of a teasing this morning to check on him, but no, I have the utmost respect for Sheriff Morgan. Like I said, he's a mentor to me, and I am sure they will do a thorough investigation on what actually happened, or how it happened, or how it took place. But I don't want to speak on that because he will know that better than me. I just know we have a good relationship and good cooperation, and I really want to thank citizens for phone calls that have helped out a lot in locating these 2 individuals. Ms. Jackson, thank you. God bless you too. I appreciate that. Chief Drew, is anything being addressed concerning bullying at school? So, bullying at school. So we have SROs in our high schools and middle schools. We have officers who stop by, as well as the sheriff's department that stops by our elementary schools. Officers and sheriff deputies are doing reports. Like when they have time, we can do a police report or paperwork that we try to do that in the parking lot of the elementary schools. So, I know that the schools do things to address bullying. If you're asking me as the chief of police, we can talk about awareness. We can talk about bringing it to attention. My advice on bullying, right, if someone's being bullied, is to tell someone, to share that information. I do worry, whatever, if bullying or whatever it is, in school, out of school, whatever it is, that people try to hold that in, and no one's going to listen to me, no one's going to believe me. To talk to an adult, a teacher, a pastor, someone in the community, a police officer, a sheriff's deputy, whatever it might be, to bring that to light and talk about it. Don't try to absorb that in and just, that's the way it's going to be. And don't put that, I don't want people to put that on themselves, and it creates low self-esteem. But I know that the schools have programs on bullying, but we need to know about it. And sometimes, gosh, I remember, so I'm showing my age now, that you certainly see kids get picked on or made fun of or teased. But man, it's so hard now with social media and things that go on out in cyberspace, in the cloud, wherever all that is, the things that see. So I think I take that very, very seriously. I know the schools do. We try, all our entities try to do better and better and better. So if that's happening to someone, or if it's happening to someone and that individual may be embarrassed to say anything about it, speak up for them. I'm not saying go get in a physical confrontation, but share that information and let entities address it. I certainly, you hear stories about what people do to themselves and low self-esteem or depression, bullying, and so I think it's a real issue. I think it's awareness and talking about it, but sharing that information and letting other people know about it, I think, is a key element. And moving on it quickly, right? Moving on it quickly. That's a great question. Thank you for that. That is a great question. They dug a hole. Devon, can't wait for the rematch of the three-legged race at our annual Easter egg hunt. Now, let me tell you, Devon, I think I got a raw deal on that. So I'm up for it again. I look forward to two. I saw people picking up kids and carrying them. I'm not saying who might have done that or not, but the three-legged race, I'm in. I'm going to bring some people with me. So I look forward to it. Are you throwing out a challenge right now on Facebook Live about a three-legged race? Because if you are, I'm up for it. But that was a great event, and I look forward to it, my friend. That's great. Oh, my bad. It's Matt. Yeah, so Andy, Matt's got the helm today. He's orchestrating the screen and everything going on, but he is great. He's our latest addition to our media relations. Probably should switch places with him. But no, he is great, and he is with me today. And I don't know if he'll be back at 6, but I'll be back. We'll be doing this again at 6 o'clock this evening. All right. They're talking. All right, so you guys are going back and forth. See, I'm learning. You guys are having a conversation about. Oh, I got you. Okay. Are the parents, Annie? So I will tell you this. We did the investigation. We did multiple interviews. We looked at a lot of records. We typed that up. We did some follow-up interviews. We put that together and submitted that to the Commonwealth Attorney, and they will determine that based on the evidence and the law and what it reveals, right? What the evidence reveals and what the law is. I have the utmost faith in the Commonwealth Attorney's Office. They will do a thorough job, as I believe our investigators did a thorough job, as the officers who responded did a thorough job. It is a process. And I know sometimes people get frustrated, well, what's taking so long and why don't we have that now? But it's a serious issue, right? We had a teacher that was injured with gunfire at a school, and we want to be thorough about it. It's not something we're just going to rush through, but they will make that determination. And I know that they have, like I said, we delivered that case. They have it. They're reviewing that, and once they complete that review, they will make the appropriate decision. I have the utmost faith in that. But that's a great question, and I get it. We get asked that a lot. Jackson, Chief Drew, can the department do anything about having hoops in the street and playing basketball? So are you asking, can we put hoops in the street, or can we do anything about kids playing basketball in the street? Help me out a little bit. If we're talking about hoops in the street, we wouldn't set those up. Sometimes we do get calls about kids playing in the street. I understand that. Sometimes we'll try to drive by and assess. We certainly don't want anybody to get hurt, number one. 2, we don't want blocking traffic and those type things. So, yeah, it would have to be something we'd have to look at and see what the situation is. Is it in the middle of the street and kids are out there? Is it that they, and I get it. I understand that they don't have anywhere else to go, or but it would have to be something I have to understand a little bit better. I think I'm interpreting that you're saying kids playing in the street, and could it be a hazard and anybody getting hurt? But that would be something we would respond to. But we'd have to assess the situation and see. I think that's what you're asking. But we certainly have conversations with individuals with that. And I don't want to see. It's all about safety. You don't want to see anybody get hurt and impede the flow of traffic and those type of things. Hughes, I went. Wait a minute. Back up there. Matt's scaling. I gotta get my eyes straight. Hold on a second. I went to the dispatcher testing day. When will they be getting back to people? I did pass the test. So Matt is going to write your name down, and I will find out today what the status is. For those that don't know, we do an all-day recruiting and testing type event. One of the things in law enforcement, whether it's dispatching or policing, is have people come in and take a test, have people come in and do an interview, have people come in and do the physical agility, have people do a writing assignment, and have people keep coming back, right? And we lose people in the shuffle. So what we try to do is we've gone to a couple days a month where we try to do all that in one day. So you can come down if you're out of state, if you're out of the jurisdiction, or even here in Newport News, you come to police headquarters, we can do all that in one day. So if you show up, you can make an appointment, or you can just show up. We usually do it between the hours of 8 and 12 or 8 and 1. and people show up, and we just start go through the process. We have officers come in, we have a recruiting team here, a captain and lieutenant, sworn and civilian both, and we try to get a lot of that done in one day to cut down having to come back and come back. It's been very, very beneficial. Dispatching is an area that we really are pushing to get more people in. It is a challenging profession, but it's also extremely rewarding. So I've got your name, and I will check on that as soon as I finish here today. We'll see what the status is, okay? But thank you for letting me know. Did she ask another question, Matt, or was that it? I don't want to. Oh, got you. And I want to thank you for coming in and testing for that. Dispatcher position is something that we're always looking to increase our numbers. We're always hiring for that field, and it is a very, very valuable tool in police, ambulance, medics, right, the fire department, all of those things. So it is a great way to serve your community, having a heart of service. So I just want to thank you for even applying, but I'll find out today what the situation is. Renee, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I saw Mrs. Werner's interview this morning. I'm a substitute in the division. She looked good, and it was nice to see her. Is it Joy? Mm-hmm. I could not agree more. I did not see the whole interview. I saw bits and clips. I talked to a family member yesterday, so I knew it was going to happen. I knew about the interview. But yes, from what I saw, she looked good, and I can't imagine. I would be nervous and concerned and what she's going through. She's got a great family, great support around her. But I will say this: I said it that night. I've said it in interviews that I've had. I'm saying it today. I think Abby is a hero. I think she saved lives. How she took care of that classroom, took care of her students. And what I saw in the video and my conversations with her, I was very humbled to even get a chance to talk to her a couple times. I could not be more impressed and amazed. And it was good to see her up and out and in that interview today. And I look forward to going back and watching the whole interview. I just saw some clips early this morning, but I look forward to going back. They recorded it, so I'll be watching it later today. So I could not agree with you more. And Joy, right? Mm-hmm. Joy, my mother. So I've got a heart for teachers, right? My mom was a teacher for 30 years, third grade, and so I youth matter to me. Teachers in that profession, I think that is a challenging profession, but the impact you make on young people's lives, I want to thank you for your commitment. I don't know if you're a teacher or just work in the school division, but I appreciate you. Susan, thank you so much for the update. The interview is heartbreaking. I appreciate and have the greatest respect for you. Abby's mother spoke highly of the officers and taking her to the chapel to deliver the news. Susan, I really, really appreciate that. That's something I'll share with the officers, the men and women of this department. It matters, and I'll tell you, one of the things I wanted to share with the group today that's on the chat is this Friday at 10 a.m., we have our recruit graduation. We are at First Baptist Church on Warwick. Is it Warwick and City Center? Is that right? First Baptist Church, beautiful, beautiful place of worship. Beautiful, beautiful church, great people, great pastor. They're so gracious to let us be there. The whole community is invited. So everyone who's on here today, you are invited to that graduation on Friday. I've got some special guests that are coming. I don't want to give that away. And I've got a special message to the recruits that I'm going to my remarks will be very, very direct about some things. So I'm trying to keep that a little bit of surprise for them. But I want to invite all of you to our graduation ceremony. We will be streaming it, I believe. But being there in person, it's something. And I want that day to mean something to this community, to our citizens, and to the men and women who've committed to put on this uniform and serve the citizens of this community. To go to calls 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to come back in on their day off, to attend court, to be here for city events, to interact with our community, to focus on our youth. But there's some direct messaging that I'm going to send to the recruits on Friday, and there are some special guests that are going to be in the audience. Now, one of our guest speakers will be a high school student, and one of our guest speakers will be Chief Fox, who was a former chief here. He served 7 or 8 years here in the Newport News Police Department as the chief of police, and he's coming. I asked him to come back and speak. Chief Grinstead and I talked about it. This is the 30th graduation class that we have had since we've had our own police academy in Newport News. So we used to be part of the regional academy. Chief Fox removed us from that, so we have our own academy now. I think it's been beneficial for us. But this group is the 30th class that's graduated, and I've asked him to come back and talk a little bit about that. But there are going to be some special guests that I have asked to come, and the remarks that I make to the class will be reflective on those guests that are there. So I just want to invite people. Probably spent too much time on that, but I could not be more proud of the 20 men and women that are graduating. And you'll hear about it on Friday, but they are from all over. We have people from Newport News. We have people from the Hampton Roads area. We have people from California, people from New York, Trinidad, right? I'm telling you, it is not only diverse in race and in gender, but background, geography. And I think that's what makes our city so great, right? Bringing people together to serve citizens of our city. So I'm excited. I am really looking forward to graduation. We have, they will graduate on Friday. We have another class of 24 that are looking to graduate in August. And we started hiring for a class that will happen in April, as we're still getting individuals applying. Still encouraging that we are hiring. We're always hiring. We can pre-hire, right? So I can hire you today for an academy that might start a month or two down the road. I don't want to lose good talent. So if you're interested in doing dispatching or law enforcement, and there's other things, please always look at the website, the city website. We have records department, forensic technicians, crime analysts. We hire social workers here to work in the department. There's a lot of variety of things that we're doing here as we continue to evolve and try to get the best quality department that we can for the citizens of Newport News. So again, you're all invited, right? So if you show up on Friday, when you show up on Friday, hey Chief, I was on Facebook, you invited me, so I'm here. That's what I'm talking about. Robin, good afternoon, Chief. Always good to be here with Robin. Thank you. You always join in, and it means a lot that you're here today. Thank you. Renee, do you have any updates on the missing lady? I don't remember her name, but you promised her kids you would find her. So I can tell you that an arrest has been made in that case. We have not located Miss Lewis. It's been certified. There's a court date set as we move forward, but we did arrest her husband in that case. Other than that, I don't have any other further updates, but I can't tell you that there were charges placed. Wow, that was a great question. That's good. I appreciate the knowledge of the group, the questions you ask and interact. That's a great question. Thank you. And I will tell you, that case has taken a toll not only on the family, but on the men and women who worked here and have investigated. That is a challenging case. I can't tell you how thankful I am for Pastor Riddick and his congregation at Gethsemane that have just worked with this. Just a great. It's one that's affected our whole city. Johnson, it's happening. Oh, John, you're talking about it's happening in the basketball players, I think, shooting basketball. So is there something we can do? Yeah, I'd like to assess it and kind of see what it is and where it is. If you're able to, I think is the terminology message. You can message us and let us know a location, or just when it's happening, if you'll call, an officer will come by and we can kind of look at the situation, talk to the individuals that are there. And again, it's not about, there's nothing for kids to do. I just don't want to see anybody get hurt. And I understand what the concern would be. So absolutely. I'm not doing that. Okay. Oh, you're very welcome. That's no problem at all. Ben, thank you for all your officers. Ben, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Again, I think that's important for officers to hear that from the citizens they serve. So thank you for that. Ms. Morgan, hello, and as always, thanks for Ms. Morgan. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us today. Hi, Chief. Checking. Coming back to you. Don't worry, we're getting there. There we go. Hi, Chief. Checking in from Burbank, California. Stay safe. Hopefully Philip is being of use. I put the Newport News Police Department as my emergency contact while in California working at the U.S. Open this summer. Much love. Absolutely. Congratulations. Send us some photos, right? I'm sure the weather out there is a little different than it is here in Newport News, but it is great that you're doing well. Everything is going well, and I wish you certainly the very best. And wow, working at the U.S. Open this summer must be a hard job. Congratulations. That's impressive. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thanks so much for always. I appreciate that. Thank you. Get the hoops off the street. So, like I said, we certainly don't want to see anyone get hurt. I understand kids getting out and playing, and I get that. So, like, if we know an address, we can certainly come and have some conversation. And if it's a impediment to traffic, and we can ask people to remove them, or we can remove them if it is in a danger. I just like to know a little bit more about it, like what location and that type thing. I think a lot of stuff can be solved by conversation, right? So, yeah, if you just let us know where those are. Teresa, thank you for all the police officers and public safety staff who have made Newport News City Marathon. Wow. So the marathon weekend was great. I will tell you, it was it had good weather. It was cold that morning. It was kind of an all hands on deck. Captain Franklin and his team did a great job. Sergeant Falero, Lieutenant Johnson, working with the city, going over the route, making sure we had staff. Chief Johnson with the fire department, the extra firefighters they gave us. We had our recruit classes out there working. It was a great event. Seeing people come across the finish line, and I mean, from the very first to the very last, it just persevered. You see some people complete that. I can't imagine 13 miles, let alone 26, right? It was just amazing. You see some people with tears, and some of the ages that was just amazing, man. And it's just a good event for our city. And the day before, on Saturday, I got to go to City Center and see some of the kids run. I had a good time with that, slapping some high fives, and it was just a good day. I did not realize that as it got warmer in the day, I got a little red on top, but it was a good event. I got teased a little bit about that the following Monday, and it was a long day, don't get me wrong, but the hospitality stuff, the food and the music and the awards and just seeing our elected officials, that was just a really great day for our city. And Teresa, I really appreciate that. A lot of work goes into that, but it was great. So thank you for that. Miss Hughes, thank you. I appreciate that. The only if the test I thought it was going to be all in one. But that's bad. Yeah. So I'll find out about I will find out as soon as I'm done here. I'll walk downstairs and find out. Matt's got your name. I'll ask him where we're at with you and what the latest is. Okay. So glad for this interaction. Praying for all the. I will tell you, Johnson, on prayers. I will take everyone. This department needs everyone. I'm a man of faith. I believe that makes a huge difference. And I will tell you, I can't tell you the number of emails and cards, letters that we get that just, Chief, we're praying for you in the department, or praying for our city. I think that matters. We have a great chaplain program. We have a great faith leaders in our community. The churches in the community are, hey, Chief, what can we do to help? What can we do? With great partnerships there, and it matters. So I thank you for that. I will take each and every one. Carrie, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. So I don't, Miss Wilder, I don't know about the impressive part, but I thank you for taking the time to chime in. Love you guys. I hope you all are well. Family's doing well. I will stop here for a second. So my mom and dad and my sister, they're all up in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I like to work New Year's Eve with the rest of the command staff, our captains, lieutenants, right, and our chiefs. I like to work New Year's Eve, and I usually go home to see my family the first week of January. And because of some things that happened the first week of January here, it kind of pushed everything back. So last week I was able to get some time, and I think the city manager was like, "You don't take time, I'm going to put you on a plane and send you myself." So I got to go to Cincinnati and see my folks and my sister. We didn't really do much, but just sit around and talk and catch up. And I got to talk to my uncle Daryl, and on the phone. It was a surprising phone call, and just family there. But I want to thank the officers for last week, the great work that they did. I want to thank Chief Hires, Chief Creswell, Chief Grinstead for holding the fort down. And we just have a lot of talent here, a lot of talent. But it was good to take a break. I think we all need that sometimes. And the city manager certainly urged me, go see your family. And Mr. Gwynn as well, the Commonwealth Attorney, he was like, hey, you need to check on your mom and dad and see them. I don't see them as much as I should. And they kind of pushed me to do that, and it was a good push. So, and I needed it, I guess, right, to go see them. So it was great. I really had a good time. So, Flo, thank you for tuning in today. I appreciate that. Joe, you're very welcome. I was the crossing guard at Hilton Elementary for 8 years. After caregiving for my mom, now I'm a substitute, and I'm worried about this. Now, I totally understand. I don't know much about the medical side. I did see her twice. I was able to talk to her twice in the hospital. And again, I want to go back and watch her interview just to see her up and around. I think is amazing. But no, I totally get it. John, I appreciate that. Thank you, Frank. Where? Oh, wait, did I lose him? I'm coming back, Frank. Hold on. There we go. When are you going to arrest the parents of the 6-year-old that shot the teacher? So, Frank, I will tell you, we hit on that a little bit earlier, but I have no problem going back and talking about it again. There was a lot of, from the response that day on January the 6th, from the interviews, the video footage we wanted to go through, the interviews. We did interview the students in the classroom. We're unable to do that ourselves. We had to work with a psychologist to do that. And then reviewing records, and then going back on some follow-up interviews and interviewing family members, talking with the schools, going through some records there, going through records, if there were any, from Child Protective Services. All of those things play a role. That investigation is put together. It's been submitted to the Commonwealth Attorney's Office. They're reviewing that, and they will make that decision. I've talked to Howard, Commonwealth Attorney Mr. Gwynn multiple times. I think he made a statement earlier about the charges that it would be determined based on the facts and what the law allows. So they're reviewing that as we speak. I actually saw him yesterday, but it's a process, and it's not one that we want to rush through. I certainly understand. Believe me, I certainly understand concern that people have, and but why hasn't it been done already, and what's taking so long? And I understand it seems like that. That I want to be thorough, and I know the Commonwealth Attorney wants to be thorough. And sometimes there may be some things that are reviewed, and we want to go back and make sure we understand that or clear that up, and go back on a follow-up interview. But yeah, so I totally understand. I also remember that we're dealing with a 6-year-old. I want to make sure that we're thorough in all aspects, and I believe that we have been and are doing so. So, sir, I totally get it, but let's just wait and see what the Commonwealth's. I think it will be fairly coming around the corner, but I don't want us to rush through that. Everyone in this process deserves that. That's a good, and I do, sir. I understand. Faith, good afternoon, Chief Drew, and congratulations to the graduating class. Proud mom of a. Well, I will tell you, Miss McKinley, I am. This graduation, I'm really, really excited. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, there's some special guests coming, and it is a great class. This class bonded very quickly together. We'll talk a little bit about that on Friday. They came together very, very quickly. We used them in doing some things that was going on in our community and the police department. We used them in some different things early on. I think that kind of brought them together. But I thank you for the congratulations, and they deserve it. And I am so looking forward to Friday. I'm telling you, if you're free at 10 o'clock and you're able to come, it will be. I want it to be a day that those recruits remember about being sworn in as new police officers in our city. Ms. Carter, I'm so sad for the family. Yes, you're absolutely right. Absolutely. They can't. Commonwealth Virginia laws won't let them. Are you talking about the child? I understand. Annie, there should be more places where kids can play basketball. I love seeing them doing that rather than getting or being in danger elsewhere. It's a great point, and that's why I was saying earlier, it may just be sometimes not able to get somewhere. So yeah, so and there may be some places that we can help them get. We just need to kind of look at what's going on there. I know the dangers of being in the street, and sometimes, when it gets dark, people come around the corner. I certainly don't want to see anyone get hurt, but we're also under the, I get that, want to be out and playing and doing something. So it's something for us just to look at, but I always think that good conversation can result in some type of solution. So that's a very good point. And well, yeah, you're absolutely right. Keep an eye on the mayor. See it. Yeah, absolutely. I got to spend some time with him yesterday. He's very engaged. We have some good conversations. Very, very active. But I got to spend some time with Mayor Jones yesterday, and had some good conversation there in a group meeting. So absolutely, and thank you for that. I will make sure I tell him. Y'all take care, and I have to go for now. Renee, thank you, and I appreciate you again for being here today. Lucas, my neighbor's car was stolen. He asked a question, and we found that Newport News will not chase cars just because they are stolen. It was chased by HPD and state police, but they got away. His car was found parked in Yorktown. Why does NNPD not chase? So, Lucas, that's a great, let me tell you something, man. Matt, we're getting some great questions today. That is a great question, so let's address that. So, pursuits are one of the things that concern me a lot. Domestic violence calls and pursuit calls. So we do pursue vehicles, but for only certain things. Sometimes when we turn our lights on and we pursue, it makes that individual drive erratic. They try to get away. Now, sometimes they pull over. But we have a pursuit policy here that's limited on how much speed we can go in the city and how much speed we can go on the interstate. I'm concerned about not only the individual, the officer in the pursuit, but I'm also concerned about our community. And if you're familiar with Newport News, the neighborhoods and the streets, there's a lot of traffic going on. And a car can be replaced. And I'm not saying that stolen cars, but a car can be replaced. But a pursuit that how many times have you seen pursuits where an individual cars are struck, where individuals are injured? And I would not want, sir, to pursue a stolen vehicle and it hit one of your family members, that, hey, we got the stolen car back, but one of your family members suffered an injury or even worse than that. So there is a lot of responsibility put on officers and for sergeants. What's the pursuit for? What is the speed? Should we be pursuing a vehicle that might be stolen at 3:30 as kids are getting out of school and school buses are getting off? Should we be pursuing a vehicle in the rain or in the slushy if it's snow? Should we be pursuing a vehicle that's driving 100 miles an hour through our city? So if we engage in that pursuit, is that individual likely to increase speed? So there's a lot of totality of circumstance that go into that. But we do have a pretty strict pursuit policy. But a vehicle can be replaced. Injuries to people and life cannot. So that is a heavy burden that all police departments face. We do pursue vehicles, but we are accountable for that pursuit. An individual asks, now, well, Chief, if you don't pursue them and they get away, then it's a stolen vehicle, right? And usually when it runs out of gas, somebody leaves it. Or it might be used in a crime. And I'm not saying that we don't pursue those, but what I am saying is there are a lot of restrictions, and I don't want a pursuit to be the result of someone being injured or a loss of life, to even the individual who stole the car. But that's a great question. Certainly on interstate, there might be some differences. The state police can do what they call a pit maneuver, where they can tap the bumper of the car and create it to spin. But could you imagine if we did that in the city, right? In the city environment, we can't do that. So all those things come into play. So I don't know if that answers your question. So the last part is, why does the Newport News Police Department not chase? That's inaccurate. We do pursue vehicles, but we are going to do it in a safe manner. And we take all those things in, and the sergeants may terminate a pursuit because of some of the factors that I just talked about. But it's looking at it holistically. That's a great question. I appreciate that question, sir. And when is the traffic union coming back? I will tell you, Mr. McCain, if I had a crystal ball and I had the ability to get our 40 vacancies filled, I would bring it back tomorrow. But right now, I just don't have that. So we try to do the traffic enforcement from the, and I'll tell you, it's funny because I wanted a traffic division here. I think we need it. I want officers who can, that their day is focused on speeding and traffic enforcement. I think that's a vital part of crime reduction and safe travel, right? But what we've had to do because of our shortages, I need to make sure that when someone dials 911, that we're getting to that call in 2 or 3 minutes, especially on the high priority calls. So I put those traffic officers are back in the field. We try to run the traffic enforcement when we can from the precincts. We've offered some overtime positions to focus on traffic speeding. A lot of that is during the daytime when we see a lot of congestion and the speeding complaints that we get. But to answer your question, we have 20 individuals that are graduating on Friday. We have another 24 in the class that comes out in August. So there may be an opportunity to put a couple back then. Then we have another class. My goal is to put at least 20 in the class that will start in April, that will graduate in April, May, June, July, around November. That would be our division coming back. I'm excited. I created that division. I want that division. I realize how important that is. But the number one priority is to be in our neighborhoods. And when someone calls 911, that we have an officer that can respond there. If it's officer safety issues, community safety issues, and trying to do as much traffic enforcement as we can through our precinct. So when we get a complaint about speeding in neighborhood X, I would send that to that precinct captain. And hey, guys, when you're not on the calls, let's try to do some traffic enforcement. I will share this with you. An individual called in and said, I'd like to see more traffic enforcement in this particular neighborhood. And not to embarrass anyone, but we sent it to the precinct captain. The officers are out doing traffic enforcement in that neighborhood, right? And how do I know that we're doing it? Because an individual that was stopped for speeding and received a ticket was an employee of our department. So I can tell you we were there. But no, I totally get it. I am a very big fan of the traffic division. I think it is valuable, and it is my absolute intent to bring it back. We just have to have the manpower to do it. And manpower is an issue that has been plaguing law enforcement. I'm not saying until we get it, we're not going to do it. I'm just saying we're sending it to the precinct captains who have control over the number of officers that they have and can assign some to do that. But I want that unit back that focuses on it daily. So I agree with you, and it is my intent to get that back as soon as feasible. But I'm looking at towards the end of the year being able to staff it. Hats off to your mom. Yeah, she did 30 years. That was like hazardous pay. 3rd grade too, right? And I will tell you, she still talks to me like I'm in the 3rd grade sometimes. But I appreciate you. Edwards, why people are afraid? Why people are afraid to die? Because they will meet their creator. No, you rely on law enforcement to be fair and just, but they are failing the people, and people cannot rely on them and have to take matters into their own hands, which causes more problems. Why is it so hard to hold an oath of becoming a police now? It's just about power, not about law and safety. So, not really sure what you're trying to say. I don't have, I understand people protecting themselves. Why is it so hard to hold an oath of becoming a police now? It's just not about power. It's not just about power, not about law and safety. I have the utmost respect for this profession. I've given it 30 years in a previous agency and then here in Newport News. And I see the men and women that do this job, and I see what they give up. I see what they miss. They miss birthdays and ball games and recitals and family outings and events and cookouts. I see them work around the clock. I see them get off after they're doing their shift of 10 hours and go wait for court to start, or get off and they've made an arrest and they've worked their 10 hours, but they have to be at a hospital because they've been injured or because someone they have in custody is being medically or mentally evaluated. I see them come back in and cover shifts. I see them celebrate Christmas December 25th on December 28th, or New Year's with their family is January 3rd because they work that night. I see them volunteer for extra hours. I see them come in to work traffic details. And there is a shortage across this country in law enforcement. Men and women who do this job to serve the citizens of the communities. I see what they give up. I also see what they deal with. They have to see some of the most tragic events in our city. whether it's a shooting in a school, a traffic accident where someone doesn't walk away from, a rape or a robbery, a domestic assault, God forbid a homicide, where family members cling to them and beg to bring their loved ones back. I see them stand in the rain and the snow and batter elements for heart of service, and I do not pay them enough for what they do. But I do believe it's an honorable profession. Does that mean we don't make mistakes? Absolutely not. Does that mean that we're any better than anyone else? Absolutely not. Just because we wear this badge and patch and uniform, we're not better than anyone else. We don't always get it right. But when someone dials 911 and needs help, we're responding. We're trying. We try to weed out those that aren't in this profession for the right reason. But for the majority, they are. They care. They give up. And the things that they see, that they don't go home and talk about to their families about or their kids about, pray they get a good night's sleep and come back and do it again. Society, media, expects them to get it right 1,000% of the time. I would submit to you that that's unreasonable. We continue to do better and better. I think we're better today than we were yesterday. I think we'll be better tomorrow than we are today. The advances in technology, the advances in training, the different things that we're doing, constantly reviewing our policies and procedures, learning from our mistakes and others, and we have made them. And it's okay for us to admit that and say that we're sorry. It's okay for us to be open and transparent. But I am proud of this department. I'm proud of the men and women who want to come and work here. And when I interview them, the last stage before they enter the academy is I ask them, why do you want to be in law enforcement? And they tell me. And then I ask them, why do you want to do it in this city? And I hear responses, because I see you interact with youth. I want to make things better. I want to give back. People helped me out. I want to help women or men that are involved with domestic violence. I want to give back to youth. I think it's an admirable profession. We're always hiring. There's not 5,000 people waiting to walk through the door. So we don't get it right all the time. We make mistakes. We are held to a higher standard, as we should be. But I have the utmost respect for men and women who do this job, for our dispatchers, our sworn officers, our civilians, people who work in records, our forensic technicians who process crime scenes, the things that they see, our SWAT team that's called out in the most critical situations, life-threatening situations. I will tell you, I think it is an admirable profession, and I have given 30 years to it, and I could not be more thankful for the men and women who do this job. Does that get us up to speed with everyone? I want to share a couple things. We've already talked about our graduation ceremony. We talked about recruiting. We're continuing to do that. We have a promotion ceremony coming up on April the 27th. We wanted to wait till this academy graduated, but we were able to promote a lieutenant and 3 or 4 sergeants and 3 or 4 corporals. So we'll be putting together a leadership school for them, a couple days just to hit on some things about leadership. It's some things that we just talked about, relationships, accountability, responsibility, doing the right thing, mentoring and coaching. But I'm excited. That's going to be on April the 27th. We'll do some more sessions before then, sharing that. We still have our use of force review board going. We talked about the academies. We continue to invest in technology. We talked a little bit about our real-time crime center, how it's able to tie into different cameras. It's not a Big Brother thing, right? It's something's happened, or we're doing an operation in this area, or there's something happened that we can go back and look at camera footage if there's been some type of crime that's committed. Our shot spotter detection, gunshot detection. We have 2 areas now. The benefit of that is sometimes when there's shots fired, people don't even call. That concerns me a little bit about, well, are they just used to it? Or, well, I'm not going to call, somebody else will call. And then if we don't get a call about it, do people in that community like, well, the police don't even care what's going on here? And I can't tell you the number of activations we've had where there's been no calls whatsoever. But it also, the benefit is it goes immediately. It picks up on vibration, not verbal. We're not listening to conversations on the ground, right? But it tells officers, it triangulates and tells officers where the shots came from. So we've been able to go there and catch people in the act. We've been able to go there and recover evidence. We've been able to, I was in this neighborhood and I suffered a gunshot wound. And what was happening is there was no shot detection in that area, and when pressed, well, I was playing with a gun and I shot myself in the foot, my toe, the bottom part of my calf, my leg. So that's been very, very beneficial. We have 2 areas that covers about 3 miles. So we're really trying to use technology, again, to do things better. We're talking with a company now that is doing an app that if we go that route, individuals would be able to download Newport News app and you would get messages, traffic accident at this location. There's been an incident here. This is an event, something that may be going on. Or if you see a crime that you're able to take a picture and send it in, or if you saw something concerning, you can send it in. If you saw a vehicle that struck another vehicle and drove off, that if you were able to take a picture of that and send it to our crime center right away, we can send it right out to officers. So there's a lot of advances in technology. I think this department is looked upon in the region as being very progressive that way. I want to continue to push that. The more we can do for our officers, I think the better. And that I think that draws people into this organization, and it also helps us serve our community better. Thank you, Chief, for all that you do. PD are appreciated, even though some can't see it and do. You go through. Well, Annie, I will tell you, I appreciate that, and I don't take offense. I think it's great to have conversations, people's perceptions. We still have a ride-along program. If those individuals would want to come along and do a ride-along, you can ride for a shift or just for a couple hours, and hear the calls that come in, see the interaction that officers do with our community and our youth. But I think that's important. We talk about 21st century policing. I think being open, transparent, and sharing information. I think that's important to our community. And if we get it wrong, and at times we do, is to try to do better, put things in policy to reduce that from happening again, or review a situation. And it doesn't matter to me if it's a marathon. We reviewed that. Hey, how do we do better next year? If it's a critical incident, a shooting or something, saying how can we respond better? Training. We're always looking at how do we train better. And I will share this with you. It looks like we're going to get a new North Precinct and a new training academy this year. And I want to take that physical move to a new academy to also tweak and change a little bit how our department trains recruits and how we do in-service. So we do 40 hours of in-service each year for those that are sworn. But our recruit training, I want to add some different things. I want a class on psychology. How do people think the way they do? People perceive things differently. I want a class on sociology, right? That can one event, how that one event could affect a neighborhood, a community. We had a situation in the school that affected not only a neighborhood, a community, but our region, our state, and some even across the country. Those conversations about gun violence. So I want to add a history class about not just the history of policing, but the history of Newport News. When did we annex parts of was it Warwick County, and how did the shipyard get here? How did the arch? What did we use? How did we utilize that during World War I and World War II? The waterways that we have here. So I want officers to graduate and know a little bit something more about our communities, our residents, and the history of our city. I want us to become more academic based. I want us to write better reports so that we can give the Commonwealth Attorney better cases that when we go to present in front of a jury or a judge, that we're using technology. So I think training. I got to attend an event with the other city chiefs in Hampton on Saturday, and it was a group 100 black men and a group 200 black men, and it's a mentoring group, right? And they got to introduce us to several of the youth that attend their programs. And it was interesting that each youth has a mentor. And they had about 30 questions. And it was just a really great event. And they asked questions like, why did you want to be a police officer? And what do you think the biggest thing going forward in policing is? And I talked about building relationships, being open and transparent, and training. And what is probable cause? And what gun violence? And we talked about gun safety, right? And how do we de-escalate? It was just a really good conversation with youth. And I really appreciated that. And then after that was over, I drove the speed limit to Warwick High School, where they were doing some job fairs and training and different entities showcasing what they can do with the community. It was a great event at Warwick High School, and it ended with the Newport News Police Department's basketball team playing, I believe, all-stars from the different high schools. So let me just say, we did not fare too well. We held our own for a while, but it was a good event. Captain Funiak was there, and Officer MPO Blanchard was there with me, the SRO at that school, as we watched the team. And Blanchard said, Chief, we need to do some training, may need to do some transfers and get some people on it. But it was just we had a good time, kidding around, joking around. The officers got a little winded. They were out there though, so I can't give them a hard time. They were out there, but it was good to see them out playing. Yeah, I'll probably talk a little bit about that more on Friday, but at graduation. But it was a really good event. I think the officers that gave up their time to come out and interact with youth, right? To see us in a different, out of this uniform, and just the city matters. The kids, the youth matter to us. So it was just a great event. So yeah, those things I think make a difference. I understand. Yeah, sometimes police are kind of rock in the heart. Andy, that's a great point. They are. We know that. We just try to do the best we can in that situation. Scroll back up just a little bit, Matt. Okay. Since you were given the profession 30 years, you must have been younger when you started. So I started when I was 21, and you can get an idea what my age is now. I saw this on the news. It was wonderful to see that on the. Oh, okay, great, Andy. Is that kid? How much? Wait, here we go. How much pressure and discussion does police have with government policies and laws? Mental health services to help and prevent repetitive crimes. That is a great wow. That is a great question. I will tell you, Edwards. I'll tell you. We looked at a perfect example of this is we looked at the number of times officers are dispatched to mental illness calls. So, and I say mental illness, someone that might be going through a breakdown, depression, homelessness, drug addiction, some type of a mental challenge. And we created Chief Hudgens, Assistant Chief Hudgens, who used to be here and now is the chief in a department in North Carolina. He wanted to create a program, and it has evolved. We call it CARES, our CARES unit, but it's a response to a clinician and a paramedic, right, to a non-violent mental health call. Now, officers still respond for safety, but we kind of become the second responders and allow sometimes it may be medication is off or just need someone to talk to. That just the presence of a uniform might change that dynamic. So we're trying to be creative. We work a lot. The meeting I was in right before I came here, we were looking at areas of crime, and we were also like, well, look, this is the same area we get mental health calls to. It's the same area that we get high concentration of poverty. It's the same area that there's issues with blight. So looking at different factors that contribute to incidents of crime. So that is a great question. We spend a lot of time working with different resources and different partners. We hired social workers to come into our department. Human Services train them, and then we hire them and pay them, and they work the evening shift for us. And it has increased our response time to situations where we need a human services element, social service work type element. We also have Dr. Cheryl Shavers. We hired her for her expertise in domestic violence, not only teaching officers a better way to respond to domestic violence, but also working with individuals who become victims and making that handoff to the Commonwealth Attorney and their support team as the case goes forward. So it's trying to think outside the box, bringing in civilians, right? In our training, to have a mother talk about autism and her child who may be suffering from autism, and how lights and sirens or noises or how a response might agitate an individual that we don't know, right? We get a call, we don't know, but signs to look for. That's a different way than just having an officer, an instructor teach it from a PowerPoint presentation about autism. You get that human factor, that human element. I think that's important. And bringing in specialists to teach in our academies to teach us in service. Health and wellness of officers is something that really matters to me. Think about the things that they see over and over and over. They go home, eat, sleep, spend time with their families, come back and they see it again. I worry about that, right? So we try to create an atmosphere here. We have a department psychologist. We're getting ready to apply. We have a CISM team that officers are trained to reach out. We have officers that respond to a critical incident that we may ask them, we'd like you to go talk to the psychologist. And I want to take the stigmatism away from that. So I will tell you that myself and the assistant chiefs yearly have an appointment with the department psychologist where we just talk about, how we're feeling, what we're seeing. I think that's important as we ask men and women to do this job and deal with issues and concerns of society. But I also want to make sure that they know that I know this job is challenging and difficult, and the things that they see. And it's important we have an atmosphere where they can talk about that. Our chaplain program, we're able to have chaplains respond to scenes and situations. We'll also work with our officers. All those things are important. So that's a great question, my friend. Four Oaks, right, where we deal with individuals who are homeless or maybe struggling from addictions. All of those entities play a big role. That's a great question. I appreciate that. Very important to interact. Absolutely. I don't think that there is a bigger importance than how we interact with our communities, our partnering jurisdictions, and resources that we have. I could not agree with you more. It is huge. If we believe, if we were to say in Newport News, crime is, we're going to put it all on law enforcement, I can tell you, we will not win that way. It has got to be a unified approach for multiple entities addressing multiple factors that can contribute to either delinquency or crime or situations or abuse that we have to address early on. What are the signs? Speak out. If you see something, to say something, to talk about it. That's a great point. Hats off to 21 is young to commit to law enforcement and all that. Well, I will tell you, you're right. It was young, right? And we have some officers recruits that are hired at 20, and when they graduate, they're 21. And I understand that. That's young people who want to do this job, but we try to balance that with getting them with a good officer, a good recruiting officer. But think about it. If you have 21 and 22-year-olds that don't have a lot of life experience and they're here in law enforcement, I appreciate them wanting to do this job, but I know we've got some maturing and growing up to do, right? We get some great recruits from the military. We get great recruits who have life experiences, come from different areas here that are homegrown. And I just think that diversity really helps our department. When you all show up to graduation tomorrow, one of the things I will do is read where individuals are from. And you will be shocked of the number of cities and states where people are from to come to Newport News. So, Matt, I went a little bit over. I apologize. I think, wait. I got here late, just wondering if there's an update on the Kiln Creek. Ms. Smith, I don't have an update to give. They're still making progress. But I'll tell you this. I believe we're going to solve that case. But I don't have an update that I can share here without hurting anything, so I don't want to do that. We're going a little bit over. I apologize. I'll be back at 6 o'clock this evening. Thank you so much for the questions that came in today. Just sharing with you as we get that part of the year. I'll be shortly starting up I want to do those walks again on Friday, like at 4 o'clock. Then I'll be looking for some neighborhoods just that I'm going to go out and walk in the community. Sometimes students may walk with me. Sometimes members of the department may walk with me. Sometimes elected officials may come out and walk with me. Or I may just be walking it by myself. And citizens can come out and walk with me and just have interaction. But it's a way for me to get out, get my steps in, lose some weight, but interact with our community. I'll be doing those on Fridays. I usually do them from like 4 to 5. So if anybody is in a neighborhood that they would like me to walk or spend some time with, I would love to come out and interact. I think that's important. I want you to know the members of your department. I want you to know your chief and your assistant chiefs. But I think those interactions and working with communities, as my friend stated earlier, I think is vital. So those are the things we have coming up. I'll be back at 6 o'clock. God bless you guys. Please hope to shout out. Absolutely, Jersey. Please take care, and I'll see you all again at 6. Thank you all.